Hey guys, Parfax here. Today I have a really awesome video for you. Alright, let's get started. So I'm here in the PTS and I've been testing a bunch of things out. I've been mainly focusing on really specific set and been kind of focusing on gear versus companions because that'll come here in the near future. But and companions have been changing a lot if you've read the patch notes. So let's kind of get into it. It's just super exciting. I haven't heard anybody talk about this set, and this is an absolute must-have for your gear. All right, so the set that I'm actually talking about here is called Heartland Conqueror. It's a new 7-trait crafted set, and let's just take a look at it, and then we'll talk a little bit about it here. So we have, it gives weapon and spell damage, max magic, max stamina, and it increases the effectiveness of your weapon trait by 100%, but not ornate trait. So that just means is if you have an ornate trait, it's not going to sell for any more. So why am I excited about the set? On its face value, you're like, well, that's not very good, Parfax. That gives you basically no 5-piece bonus. Well, let's talk about it. So first, let's do something pretty simple. Let's go down here. See if I can find one. I know I have one here. Nope. Here we go. All right, so we're just going to put on a sharpened staff. Now, we're going to look at it here. Mind you, a typical sharpened staff is going to give like 32 to 3,300 weapon and spell or magic and physical penetration. And let's take a look what this gives us. So this is going to give us 6552. So it is giving us almost 3,300 spell penetration and physical penetration. Now, to kind of put that into perspective, that is about the equivalent of spinners and spriggans. So this set, you're like, okay, well, I already have spinners and spriggans, so why would I ever want this? Well, we're going to get to that. Don't worry. Not only does it affect your front bar, it'll affect your back bar. Now, 456 is what an infused back bar will give you for your weapon and spell damage. So we're going to swap here. This gives us 556. So this gives us 100 extra weapon or spell damage. So this 5-piece should read to you with a sharpened on your front bar, weapon and spell damage, which is the same as spriggans or spinners, max magic, max stamina, which is the same as those two sets, but it you get one of each instead of one specific one. And this reads, it gives you 3,300 physical and spell penetration. This is way better. If you're doing a hybrid build, this is 35 times better than spinners or spriggans. But if you're doing, a straight physical build or straight magic build, this is basically, you're trading 100 penetration for 100 weapon and spell damage is basically what you trade off. So they're almost exactly the same, but this is craftable. But you'll get 100 extra weapon and spell damage on your back bar. So that's the trade-off. This is just, to me, a straight upgrade to spinners or spriggans. It's also craftable. This means you can wear it in heavy armor, light armor, medium armor. You get magic and spell penetration, magic and stamina, and then weapon and spell damage. So it gives you a lot more, especially if you're any bit hybrid. But it's just like a craftable spinners or spriggans. You can look at it that way. It's like, okay, cool. Well, I have it, so I really don't need it. Well, let's just start putting on these weapons to kind of show you the difference. So we have defending. So this gives you, now this set piece reads weapon and spell damage, magic, max stamina, and then gives you 3,300 spell and physical resistance when you're on this bar, obviously. So if you're going with, instead of an infused back bar, let's say you're going a sharpened front bar and then an infused back bar. So instead of giving you 100 weapon and spell damage, it's going to say when you're on your back bar, it's going to give you 3,300 physical and spell resistance. So now we've taken 100 physical and spell resistance, or physical and we're gaining physical and spell resistance at the price of some weapon and spell damage. It's pretty awesome, right? I mean, yeah, you're not going to get the 456. You're losing more than 100 because you're not going with the infused trait, because the infused will give you 456 on the back bar. I think it's like 330 or something like that. So even if you put the defending mech gear with it, you're going to lose probably 200. But instead of so you look at it this way: instead of losing 200 weapon and spell damage, you're gaining 6,500 physical and spell resistance. So pretty insane. All right, so now we're going to go to powered. Now you went from a straight DPS set to now a healing set. So now this set reads weapon and spell damage, match magic, match stamina, and gives you 9% increased healing done. Because now you have a powered, you've doubled the trait, because you're always going to have the staff on there. It's not 18% healing done because you already have a powered weapon on your front bar, so you're going to have that no matter what. But now it's 9% increased healing done. So what you can do with this set, I can go from essentially running spinners or spriggans right in my front bar for PvP. I can swap on a powered staff, and now I am a healer. Now, is this best in slot for healers? Probably not. Like, let's be honest, it's not. No, we're gonna get to another staff that makes it really cool as well. But it's gonna be an option for you to swap off your gear without having to invest in full sets of gear. Okay, it's really cool. So now let's look at precise. Where's precise? We'll go to that next because we wanna, all right, here, precise. So let's say you're doing this for PvE. You have all divines on your traits here. And let's say you're running the Thief Mundus Stone and the Shadow Mundus Stone, whatever you want to say, right? We have the powered set on here because we were just healing. We're like, oh shit, my grip needs a DPS. What am I going to do? Boom, we stop on precise, and now you get a 7.2% weapon and spell crit as your 5-piece. That is 1% point lower than Mother Sorrow. Now, Mother Sorrow does give crit. It gives 5 pieces of crit, where this gives weapon and spell damage. It gives max magic, max stamina, and then crit. So you're not going to get near as amount of crit on here. But this is kind of like a baby version of Mother Sorrow, because you get that 7.2% weapon and spell crit for your 5-piece. So it gives you that. And then remember, we're also getting something on our back bar. So like we have infused here, that's 100 weapon or spell damage on the back bar. So we're getting, this set would then read weapon and spell damage, max magic, max stamina, 7.2% weapon and spell crit, and 100 weapon and spell damage for your 5-piece trait. So we went from healing to now we went to straight PvE DPS, and we didn't lose that much DPS from like a Mother Sorrow. Yes, you're losing DPS. Yes, Mother Sorrow is better, but Mother Sorrow, you can't just swap it to Spriggans and Spinners and swap it to a healing set and swap it to a DPS, then have defending. And like, this set is by far the most versatile set in the game. Now let's talk about something really cool. Decisive. This decisive enchant, let's do that. Now grants, I hit a mud crab, come on, bro. We're just gonna auto attack, whatever, bro. Oh, there we go. Now my front bar gives me, whenever you gain ultimate, you have 110% chance to gain an additional ultimate. So now we swapped this, and now we're going for double the amount of ultimate gain. Look at this. Look at my ultimate's just going up. Like Parfax, your ultimate always goes up, but it's going up by 4 every time it ticks. So that's really cool. So you can get more ultimate. And then we'll go to that one last. Nirnhone's probably the weakest. It gives you 30% increased damage of your weapon. If you're running a two-handed melee weapon, like let's say, or melee weapons in general, it'll give you, if you have dual wield, you have to have this trait on both. Or if you're running one hand, or if you're running a two-hander, obviously this would be on your front bar. But this basically reads on a two-handed melee weapon, 500 spell or weapon damage is what that gives you. Now, I still don't think it's very good because you're going to switch off your trait, but you can do things like if you have almost enough penetration, you can run one Nernhone dual wield and then one maybe penetration. So what, like the mace, and then that'll basically give you a two-handed sharpened mace with a couple hundred weapon and spell damage. So is that worth it? I don't know. You'll have to play around with it to see, but it allows that kind of option. Now, if you are not convinced about this set till now, you're like, Parfax, that's not really good. I am about to convince you why this is an absolute must-have. Training. Literally means you get an extra training slot. So instead of 9% increased experience gain from kills with a legendary, you get 18%. I mean, is there much more to say? It is legitimately getting an extra piece of gear, almost having a ring of the whatever it is, Mara. You get almost an extra ring of Mara. You get the ESO plus training bonus. So if I haven't convinced you up to this point, trading on this bar means, yeah. Now, here's what you can do. You can still put it infused on the back bar, and it'll still give you 100 weapon and spell damage on your back bar. So you can get this set will read the whole 3-piece, and then 9% increase effectiveness, or 9% increase experience from kills, and 100 in weapon and spell damage. If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. This is literally best in slot training. You cannot convince me otherwise, unless you are grinding something like Black Rose Prison, where you absolutely need the damage and you can't substitute just a trait on your, or a 5-piece bonus. You cannot convince me that this is better, because there's not a grind spot in the game, including Skyreach, that you cannot do with running a 5-piece like this. Because you can still run a 5-piece training Mother Sorrow. You can still run a 5-piece whatever damage set. On my set, I run for my typical stamina set, I run Briarheart, Hunting's Rage, all training. I bought the Briarheart training, and that's what I run. So I have that. So I mean, if you want to spend it on something else, you can run a good 5-piece here and be just fine. Or you can run, 5 pieces here. You can run 2 training monster helms, 3 rings. You can run like, I don't know, your favorite 2-piece set in a mythic, which is really what I prefer, but I did 2 5-pieces, a mythic, and then 2 training, training here, and this, your back bar. You can actually run, this is something we'll touch on maybe in a grinding video, but kind of sneak peek. Don't have a training back bar. You don't need it. Bring like your Maelstrom weapon or something like that. The Wall of Elements on your back bar. Use that. Don't put double training. That's just literally you're wasting a back bar. You always kill on your front bar, so put it on your back bar. Okay, so that's the set. We're gonna tell you that I'm pretty sure I broke the meta. I am pretty sure I have found the most broken build on the PTS, and I have not seen one person talk about it, and that will come later this week. So let me know in the comment section down below if you got to this point and you want to see that, because it'll probably come this week. I gotta test that. Hey, Mr. Bear, huh? Why you do this, Bear? By the way, I was testing out elemental weapon. I've never actually used it, so I was like playing around with the Sigic skills, and I'm like, oh gosh, now I gotta get this stuff. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm streaming on Twitch. I'll be streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday twitch.tv/Parfaxgaming. Monday, Tuesday is going to be early days for right now, which is 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. till midnight. That may change, but I will let you guys know. We're going to get a solid schedule down that will not change. We're just kind of messing around, see what people like, and see what's going on. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. This set is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to play with it. It's so versatile. You can go from healing to DPS to whatever you want to do. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.